You're suspicious that Amazon may have gotten a little too big for its own good, could be vulnerable to government action at some point. Why do you say that?
Yeah, I mean, so let me say, first of all, I don't think any kind of antitrust action is very likely anytime soon for a few different reasons. But I think it's not implausible, and it seems to me an interesting question whether it might be a desirable thing at some point. I thought I'd say that right now there are basically three ways of looking at Amazon, or three perspectives on Amazon right now. I mean, quite a lot of people, certainly the right in American politics, and probably much of the public right now, takes the view that this is a firm that really has done nothing more than provide high quality service at low prices. It's done exactly what the antitrust laws say it should do. On the other side, the other pole, there is a probably fairly small but growing voice on the progressive left saying, actually, this is a real big firm, so big and so potentially dangerous that we need to rethink our antitrust generally.
Right.
Then there's quite a lot.
I want to come back to your sort of left-right and political dynamic here. Let me turn back to Jeff, if I might, Jeff Manny, to get your response to what Chris just said. He colors it in a kind of left versus right tonality here. I'd like to get your reaction to that, and whether you think that Amazon has or runs the risk of either a consumer backlash or some sort of government intervention about the way it does its business. What do you say, Jeff?
Sure. Well, I think that it's not really a left-right issue. It's really an economics versus politics issue. We've learned in the economics literature, and we've known for several decades now, that size doesn't correlate with anti-competitive harm, with the kind of harms that we typically worry about. So the fact that Amazon may be big is not in itself any indication that there's any sort of a problem. That, of course, doesn't mean that politicians and others willing to score political points aren't pointing to its size and trying to suggest that there's a problem. And typically, the kinds of things they point to are not the kinds of things that antitrust really worries itself about. So to the question whether it's likely to lead to an antitrust case, unfortunately, I do think that there is some politics in that, but I don't see it being very likely.
Of course, I have written about this. I thought that the government is likely to maybe go after Amazon, in part because of web services. We forget about that. But has Amazon's forget about the other stuff, has Amazon's real disruption come in the fact that they have seemingly changed capitalism? And what I mean by that is that we've gone from a profit motive business. Most people want to make money. Amazon doesn't seem interested in profiting. It seems interested in just selling. Has that been the true disruption that Amazon has foisted on us?
Well, I'm pretty sure that Amazon is interested in making money.
Are they?
I do
It's been
think
20 years, still waiting.
Yeah, well, I do think that they have a long-term strategy, which may be pretty rare among modern American corporations. Years. But you also, as I think you pointed out, the web services is certainly making money, and I actually think that they probably expect that their size is a part of the strategy for how they will make money, right?
Yeah, if I could,
they'll take a small piece of a lot of transactions, and ultimately that will be quite profitable.
Is that Anthony who's trying to get in? Because I want to get Anthony in. Anthony, so you've covered Walmart, which was criticized for its size. Do you see any parallels here? Any lessons if Amazon wants to avoid the backlash that we saw against Walmart?
Well, I do see some parallels. One is that companies that base their business models on offering the low price tend toward ruthlessness. They just don't have much room to give leniency to their employees, to suppliers, even to public officials. So they're inclined to bully, as I said in my book, The Bully of Bentonville. The other is this whole notion of disruption, I think. Before this current crop of Silicon Valley companies existed, or Amazon for that matter, Walmart was a great disruptor of American industry.
Yes, it was.
It had a business model, deep discounting, that other companies either had to adapt to or go out of business. This added to the arrogance because they were inclined to see people who criticize them or oppose them as people who just didn't get it. They were opposing progress in the future, and therefore they dealt with them in pretty harsh terms usually. To some extent, I think that applies to Amazon's position today.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.